Hello everyone, welcome to our video tutorial. In this tutorial, we are going to learn how we can perform calculations while working with the form. So to follow this tutorial, we are still going to work with our database. So I'll click to open it. So from this database, we want to use specific fields. So that means we should create a new form. So this form, we shall create it using the form wizard. To enable us, go ahead and add those fields that we need. So we shall click on form wizard. So from this point, we are supposed to select the table that you want to work with. And since we have only one table, we shall leave it at that. So we need to use the field for ID. So we select it and put under selected fields. Then we need the first name. Then we shall need the district. So we select district and put. We need this wage total. We put it. We need already paid. And then we need pay as you earn field. So we add it there. So from here we are going to click on the next. Then the layout we want, we leave it like that. So we click next and we shall leave that option with continue with next. Then the name of our form will be November calculated. So we add the word calculated. So since we want to perform a calculation, we shall now use this option for modify the form's design. So to perform any calculation, that calculation is supposed to be done from the form design view. So we shall say modify, then we click on finish. So when we click on finish, our form will be opened in a design view. And to perform this calculation, we want to get the payee or pay as you earn field, and the pay as you earn field will be calculated at 10% of the wage total for each individual. This 10% is equivalent to 0.1. So what we do to calculate, we shall click in this field. Now when we click in this field, we shall go under our property sheet where we see the control source, and inside you have pay. So we shall click there and remove this word payee. Then it is from this very field that we shall go ahead and put our formula. So it has to start with an equal sign. Then this will be followed by a square bracket. Then we type the name of the field, which is wage total. So we shall say wage total. And we have to ensure that our spelling is correct. Then after, put our square bracket once again. Then since we are saying 10% is equal to 0.1, so we shall multiply by pressing on the shift key. Then we get that multiplication symbol. Then multiply by 0, we put 0, then 0.1. So that 0.1 is the 10% which we want from this wage total field, and for each of the individuals. So after doing this, we shall first of all save the changes. So after saving the changes, our formula is reflected in this field for pay as you earn. Then let's open now our form. In the form view, we see whether these calculations are there. So we click on the form view. So when we go under this area of pay as you earn field, we can see our results there. But unfortunately, we are seeing the results having the dollar sign. So we want it to be in Uganda shillings. So we go back to our design view. So from the design view, we have to format our currency. So to format our currency, we have to make sure the currency is just like what we see here. So to do that, we shall go back to design view. Then we make sure this field is selected and we go to currency. Then we shall delete that information and we type UGX. We put space so that we separate the symbol from our content. Then we put the hash to enter the digit. Then we include our separator and we add the rest of the hash, which are supposed to be 3. Then we save the changes. So after saving, we shall go to view and we check whether the format has gone there. So when you see under this field for payee, we have formatted now, instead of the dollar sign, we have the Uganda shillings. If you check for the rest of the fields, you will see that the calculation is performed. If we can click to see the last field, everything is there. So that's how we can perform a calculation in the form. In our next example, we are going to open our form again in the design view. So this time around, we want to include a field which we don't have in this form, and we calculate the balance. That means we want to subtract the already paid from this wage total, then we get our balance. So to do that, it means that we have to include a field just below payee. And before we can include a field below payee field, we have to enlarge this area. So we shall move our pointer to that point. When that pointer changes to that feature, then click, hold, and then move down to create this space. Now, our task is to create a field here. We shall first click to deselect this field. Then we shall go to our ribbon and we use this option for text box. So we shall click text box. Then we come below here. We just click once. So when we click once, we have our text box inserted. But we have to make sure that it is looking like the rest of these other text boxes. So to do that, we shall click select the two, then we right click, and then we go to size and we say to widest. So we have that one done. Then we shall do the same for this one. We right click, then go to size and we say widest. Then after, we shall again right click once more. We go to align and we say align it to the left, and we have it aligned. So now we have to rename this text box. We shall double click inside, then we delete that. Make sure you don't delete that colon. So we are typing the field name as balance. So we type balance. So our calculation is supposed to be performed from this field. We see unbound. Unbound means that this field is not connected to any other field in this form. So we click in this field of unbound. Now from there, we shall put our calculation from this area. We see control source under the tab for all. So we click there. Then we say equal sign. We are subtracting this field for already paid from this one. So we say equal sign. We use our square bracket and we say wage total. We put the bracket minus already already paid. We have to make sure they are all in brackets. So I'm moving my pointer to that point, then we put the bracket. So after putting your formula, then we have to save the changes. So when we save the changes, the formula is reflected in your field. Now, what is important is to ensure that these field names are matching what you typed above there. So after confirming that, let's check whether our balance has been calculated by going to the view option, then open our form in form view. So when we open our form in form view, here we see the balance is calculated and we see 0 because this individual had cleared the balance. Let's check for the rest of the others. So we see here with James there is that balance, but we don't see the Uganda shillings. So if we click to see the last one, we see all are calculated. If you want to add this Uganda shilling symbol, just like we did, you will go to your view, then make sure you open the form in the design view. So when you open the form in the design view, you will go to this option for format, then you type UGX, you put space, then we have to put that hash, then a comma, and we put the format we want. We save the changes, then we open our form in the form view. Then here we shall just see UGX because this individual had cleared. So when we check for the rest, we see the fields calculated for us. So that's how we can perform calculations in form. If you click in the last one, you will see that the result is there. So I just encourage you to keep on trying these options. Hope you found this video tutorial useful to you. That's it for now. See you in our next tutorial.